Hi everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Cookiepod. I'm joined by Icedandreas, Leon, and Surdon. Ice, say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
And yeah, Ice is playing Poland, who is in an interesting position right now. Surdon is cruising with Prussia, pretty much passing by Leonhard on Austria. But yeah, we'll get more into this region later, as right now we're going to start with VJ. Surdon, we already talked a little bit about it before you got here, but what do you think about VJ's state right now?
I mean, as you guys said, he could have eaten Bahmanis already. And he also pointed out that the gold mine, the diamond mine, he should have taken for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I think the biggest thing is that he's taken 0 IDs in 20
going
years.
trade ideas, I don't really agree with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was like him being unclear with the save fixes, but yeah, like it's also how has he not taken any more IDs? He was at
Did
7
he take
colon. He was
take the discipline from the reforms?
yes, he did. So at least he has the good reforms going, but yeah, he's taken 0 IDs in like 20 years, over 20 years. And some of it has even been like trade, which, I don't know, like, you get a lot of perma claims as a VJ on Bamanis, and so he shouldn't have paid unjustified demands. I have no idea how he hasn't gotten any more IDs here. But if we exclude the flame, he has a fairly good income, which is a given. Like, if you're in India, especially with the Coromandel node, you tend to make a lot of money early. And he also has really good quality. I think he's been fighting the AI quite a bit, because his arm attrition is really high. And in addition to that, he's Hindu with all the reforms going. So I think, like, if we compare him to Delhi, he's actually significantly stronger right now. Delhi doesn't have anywhere near the quality that VJ has.
Yeah, it's also Tech 9 on admin. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he still has more IDs, so I mean, I would like ID-wise, I would favor him, but obviously DLE doesn't have a very good ID set. I think he still has. Did they change DLE? Yes.
Is he swapping to Nepal?
I would imagine he's. Let's see. Do this actually?
I think they start as...
Yeah, I think so too.
This is all Nepal.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I talked to the player and I think he was hoping to do Nepal, but he doesn't seem to have made any attempts to.
I mean, he could also go Punjab theoretically, but...
Yeah, maybe that's what he's
at
doing.
this point it seems unrealistic, unless he already has embraced Punjab as main...
Why would you go Punjab over Nepal if it's not contested?
Yeah, I mean... As Delhi you start out, you can basically flip to Punjab almost for free, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he didn't start that for.
But yeah, he started with more provinces, yeah, so...
Yeah, I mean, it might be. I don't remember what. Oh, yeah, it's this culture. Does it need to be Punjab or is it just the same group?
It's
Punjabi.
yeah.
You have to be Punjabi,
Yeah.
and then you have to flip to Sikh, and then you can form it. But since the decision doesn't pop up in his decisions, he's not the right culture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right now he isn't. I was thinking if he had to be in the culture group or if it's this culture. I don't think I've ever played Punjab actually. I just pick some like Nepal if I'm switching to something here. But yeah, Ireland, I mean, he like with his cores, it would be a little bit easier to switch, but Timbrid seems to be grabbing them already, so...
I mean, Punjab is a good tag if Nepal is contested for you, as Delhi,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the GSG game, I'm currently going Punjab, and it does make a decent amount of like production and stuff, so it's not a bad thing.
You get more money, which you already have a lot of in India.
And good quality. I think he has
it's-
morale and discipline.
Yeah, it's a decent quality for sure. It's a good tag. Don't get me
Better
wrong.
than Austria. Well, that's
Yeah,
bad.
it is. I mean, Austria isn't that bad, but it's not quite as good.
Yeah.
It's like a B tier tag, but yeah.
You should be running an admin advisor. I'd say.
Yeah, it's like I'm not perhaps too happy with Delhi's either. I think like VG and Delhi are quite comparable when it comes to like tech and
What
Tech
kind of
IDs,
advisors did
income.
VJ run, by the way?
let's see. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, he could
He could
afford
run better
level
ones.
2 level, even level 3 ones, right? I mean,
Yeah, it depends. Like I think it's fair to get if he tries to get his good infrastructure up first, so he can afford higher advisors. It's like a better way than maximizing advisors and not being able to afford buildings. So
But
yeah, I
getting
mean,
the discounted admin one at least, or
yeah, and I mean he's paying for some unnecessary forts and stuff like that. I would probably not be. Why would I use cavalry? I would probably not be drilling either if I had infrastructure and level 1 advisors. I would prioritize higher level discounted advisors, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, like I think VJ is in a really good spot. It can just blob freely here. Doesn't really matter that it's behind right now. It has no threats like Bamanis has Baluchistan, but it would have to eat down here and then fight a really awkward war with like a hostile QQ in his back. And I don't see Timurids going after VJ at all. At least for a session. And he has a lot of clay to eat. Patna is being integrated. Yeah, I think it's like a really strong position. DLA I'm a little bit more scared of, because he'll have a border with Timurids, and he already has a border with VJ's vassal. I mean,
yeah, but probably Dahlia and Vijay can.
How did he even get this one? Did he integrate an OPM vassal here, or
maybe it's a vassal for them, like the one in between?
No,
No,
Yarkan isn't. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure how he got this one, but okay. Did he lose this
maybe
one to
he
Rebel?
Collision war or collision war.
Yeah,
Like he already has a collision again. So
doesn't seem that way. I think these just broke free by rebels, I guess.
Don't you lose the course?
Not if it's stated.
No. If it's a collision, I think.
No, it's the same if it's stated or not. But yeah, he can just conquer this back, so it's not really a big deal.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he stays alive, gets a flip to Nepal, and gets to blob a little bit more, he's obviously in a good position. He's better in IDs than Vijay, which is nice for him. Though he's really struggling with his heir and ruler. So he needs to get that sweet Hindu working for him. This Nert is here, and then get take Surya and get a 666 here, and you're good. Like for Vijay as well, it's like, has he used Vishnu maybe? I don't know. No, he's using Shakti. I don't know, man. I would probably have used Vishnu to get this up if I'm not going to get an heir. So I don't think these players are very experienced with the Hindu swaps. I mean, it's Ashen, who is famous for never getting ADs, and it's I know that the player is fairly new to multiplayer, so this makes sense. Going to the west, we have Timurids, who I don't know, like, how did it actually? I mean, he obviously lost a war against QQ before, but I think did he win a war against QQ later? But I don't see.
QQ was AI for some time and attacked Mamluks, and then Ottomans attacked QQ and also took a few provinces. And then the QQ player came back probably to a pretty weakened QQ. So I think he's allied again to Ottomans, but I think
he's fighting
that did cost him the ability, I think, to do anything against Timurids. And now he's fighting an expensive war for the Ottomans.
Yeah.
So he's gotten screwed.
But was Ottoman even allowed to attack him? I guess.
Yeah. I think the player was there when he did it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. I see. So,
but they re-allied. So it might have been a fake war, to be honest.
I think so,
because
it's
it's a state. They just fix the states.
Might also be a victory card. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I think it's for mission tree.
Yeah, it's the mission tree.
But the mission tree gives you more claims on QQ, so
no, it gives you claims on Egypt as well.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You need to do the safeguard Anatolia, and then you can do the Conquer Levant one.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah, okay. Then it makes sense.
I mean, is it this one that you need it for?
Yeah, safeguard.
Yeah,
but I mean, then it's like Trebizond and Kaffa, so.
Yeah, also Conquer Levant.
Oh yeah, that one. Sorry. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Oh yeah, it's for this entire chain. Yeah, this makes sense though. But yeah, even like Timurids and QQ are obviously, I think they're quite even in strength right now. But if QQ sticks with the Ottomans, I think Timurids are in a world of hurt. Transoxiana obviously died, but So did Mamluks, I think. At least Okta seemed to believe that Mamluks are dead. I think it's like sort of playable, but it would take some really good
It can roach a bit.
It can roach a bit. That's about
Yeah.
it. But yeah, so like where do Timurids find his allies? Does he like talk to the Indians? Are they interested in helping him against QQ? Maybe.
It
I
would
mean,
make sense, I guess.
He
Because
could
Ottomans,
probably ally BJ against Delhi.
Yeah, I guess. But why? Yeah. But does VJ want this though? Like just invite Timurids
Yeah, I
to?
mean, but so can BG ally Delhi against Timis and stop him
Yeah.
from expanding into India.
Yeah, maybe you find yourself like aligning with Russia's Timurids, since QQ are allied to Ottomans who are fighting Russia right now. I'm not really sure. It's like a pretty difficult diplomatic position as Timurids here, for sure. But beyond that, like the nation looks fairly good. He obviously went eco quantity, which was incredibly greedy and got punished for it. But he's about to finish up. Well, not
He
about,
could eat
but
into Arabia now that Mamluk is dead as
yeah,
well.
he can eat all the horrible desert land.
I mean,
Still
you have the south one that's pretty decent, the Gulf of Aden. No,
Yeah, there is some good land here and like a province here or something. But how is he doing? He's already on state cap, so he's not going to get that much stronger by it. But it's still, nice, I guess.
land,
Yeah, it's land. He can flood it over here. But yeah, it's like, can he get allies and can he get quality field before Ottoman QQ comes knocking? Or can he even like make a deal with Ottomans and just split QQ somehow? If Ottomans feel more comfortable in the west now. There are options for sure. What would you guys do as Timurids here?
I mean,
I would probably make a deal with Delhi and Vichy.
yeah, going to India. I mean, you have
You
the mountain
can-
force, I think, to defend against QQ.
Yeah. So
Maybe
you
he
can
can-
Delhi and Vichy can eat everything on the right side of like the line, and Timurids get help against QQ and Ottomans. So.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really need to take that deal though. If Timurids are attacked
Yeah, but
by
I mean,
Ottoman QQ.
if QQ would eat Timurids though, and Ottomans get some ports in the Mamluk lands, Ottomans could go for trade company lands in India at some point. So
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, it's a fair consideration definitely to keep decently sized Timurids to safeguard essentially. Transoxiana is also more or less dead, so that's some more terrible land to take.
I mean, he can maybe take
He
the
does.
gold one in Jharkhand.
Yeah, I mean there is some useful land. It's just like a lot of this land and this land looks fancy, but it's not that valuable.
you could also play Russia Part 2 and also like just expand to the east into China.
Yeah, it's not open right
Not
now.
sure how
but
viably it is. But
yeah, I mean it's going to be, and it's also like real awkward that QQ has this path, because I don't think could he? I mean, you should definitely. Why is this fort should definitely be gone and then put a fort up in Boy Nord instead? I think because like this right now this is just
Isn't
free
it
access.
better in Kumis than Bosnia?
I mean this one is desert. Here you have a
Oh,
mountain.
it's desert? I thought it was a mountain.
Yeah, this is like a mountain, and it's he'll be forced to go there. So I think he definitely should get a fort here and over here, because this is like a huge vulnerability right now. Like here in the south, he should have a fairly good fort line, if I remember correctly. Yeah, could maybe have a fort here, but yeah, like if he fixes this, it's actually a really hard line for QQ to take. So he could get time to get his quality IDs up, to find allies, stuff like that. But yeah, speaking of QQ, he was showing up late and his AI attacked Mamluks, so he got kicked around a bit, but I mean, the nation
They
is still...
didn't take any land, so
They didn't take
yeah,
any
they
land.
only took money.
Should have taken land. No mistake.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so because of that perhaps, and because it's like off crusading with Ottomans in Russia, didn't get a lot done. But with
I think he got stag wiped a couple of times in Russia.
Yeah.
So.
oh yeah, that too.
At least 3 times. I think he lost like 70-80k.
Yeah, I remember. Sirmjölk, are you here? I remember you saying something about QQ being stack wiped. Oh, he only has 15,000 men left here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like. I mean, it's probably. I guess it's a combination of misplaying good play.
Wait,
like
but Andalusia's in Russia?
yes. But yeah, like Russia scored surf, so you had higher movement speed, and then QQ didn't notice or play around that and got stack wiped over and over. Is he? I mean, maybe he didn't. Maybe he had to steal maps as well. Maybe he didn't have vision here. I'm not sure.
Oh, he was asking me for maps. I sold him.
Okay. Yeah, so that might be it as well. That he was struggling with the vision, which obviously makes you go a lot slower. But like for
And
QQ,
I mean,
oh sorry, proceed.
Yeah, if you don't realize that the earth is scorched, you can quite easily get stack wiped.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the first time. After that, you should realize the danger and stop. But I have to say, it's hard to micro anyways, and with scorched earth, it's even harder. So
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking like Scorch Earth and Terra Incognita, it's obviously complete hell. So yeah, maybe that's why. But yeah, what do you think QQ should do now? Leon?
That's a good question. I mean, Ottomans don't really seem to help him grow, so I'm not sure how smart that alliance is. At the same time, if he doesn't ally Ottomans, he's dead probably. So
I mean, he would ideally kill Timis and form Persia. Probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
or
should
make a
also-
deal with Timurids. I mean, that's also not off the table, right? Like if Timurids lets him form Persia, he could like eat into Arabia or something. I don't know.
Timmy could even let him be.
Because
farm
they
wrong.
both seem to be relatively weak compared to their neighbors long term. So if they would stick together, they could also do some stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, because right now Timurids are stronger than the aligned VJ, but they won't be if these are just allowed to grow and is allowed to form Nepal. And like QQ's kind of stuck. So like either I think you cooperate with Ottomans and actually get help to go into Timurids, or you maybe side with Timurids and try to get something going against the Otto blob.
Yeah.
Since there's still some possibilities for diplomatic enemies against them. Moving on. I guess let's just do Africa last. So Ottomans are looking really good, actually. Like they are in a war against Russia, but they aren't dedicating at all in this war, really.
Yeah, I have to say, like looking at the save, it feels a bit to me like Ottomans is always just sacrificing his allies, basically, because Ruthenia had to uncon before, then they had Ottomans to defend in the second session, I think, and so Ottomans won. This time Ruthenia and Hungary are close to bankruptcy, I think, and basically Hungary might lose 200%, while Ottomans get some land on Russia, so while Ottomans doesn't even commit. Like if he has 70 more force limit, if he recruits 70 mercs now and fights Poland, for example, he could probably defend Hungary, but he doesn't do that because I don't know why. So it feels a bit like me, like his allies take all the hits and he just
To be fair,
smiles and
it's like, I mean, it's smart play. It's also
It's
enabled
smart, yeah.
by you guys. You're never attacking him. You're only attacking his allies, so you allow him to make this plays without harming himself.
Yeah.
And like both Ruthenia and Hungary are way more reliant on Ottomans than
I mean-
Ottomans is on them. So
Me and Leo also got the Ancons, so we never got the chance to really get into the Ottoman land after switching Hungary.
yeah, exactly. So, but you mean you choose to dow his allies over him?
Yeah, how can we dow him directly?
No
Like
CV,
Hungary and Austria?
no CV.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but why would do that instead of attacking Hungary?
If you are
with
like,
the
I mean, if
Ancon?
you want to actually damage Ottomans, you obviously attack him. As you like, he's not going to get harmed at all by these indirect wars.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't expect him to just basically say, okay, my allies both just take the uncon, and I just smile, like,
I mean, it's working out for him. I think
Was
he's
a bit
actually has some infrastructure going now. He's still missing manufactories, but
quite a lot. But
he
yeah,
he got some. I'm not sure if he did a bankruptcy build once. Someone said he did.
I don't
but
think so.
I don't think so.
No,
It doesn't look
no.
that way. Yeah, he's
He
missing
should
some
be
infrastructure, but he has money. He's making a decent amount of income, even while fighting, because he's running half his force limit.
yeah.
yeah, I think that's the plan. That's the plan he has to build up infrastructure while
Yeah.
the rest of the world burns.
It does seem like, I mean, before at least he was running at force limit and using his manpower, but like, yeah, now it seems like he's really doesn't care about at least
But I
Hungary.
mean- But I mean, the situation isn't really helping him too, right? I mean, Austria and Prussia just got 100% of Hungary. Poland probably will get 100% back, and I mean, it's not like we're gonna be friends right afterwards, right? So
I mean,
long term,
let's
it's
see.
still bad.
I mean,
I guess.
if I don't know what deal's going on here, but I can notice that no one went into the Constantinople node. So maybe this is just a case of, well, you know,
we didn't have the
No, we
wildcard
just
for
took
it.
100%.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what you're saying, but like maybe
And
Ekban.
if I did take that, I would have cucked Poland out of Hungary,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not the case. I'm just saying that this during the week, maybe Appan has a little bit of talks here and just be like, yeah, you guys can kill Hungary and I'll just take the Constantinople node and we're friends. And yeah,
It's
like-
possible, of course, yeah.
and I mean for the Central Powers, they obviously have a slight concern in the West, so that could be a fairly
Right.
attractive deal.
We just act as if we don't see that. but
Yes,
it doesn't exist.
the best ostrich impression ever. I mean, normally I'm the like great power running away with the game and everyone playing ostrich, but yeah, I'm just joining the ostrich party for this season. But yeah, I think Ottomans has a lot of like diplomatic options, and depending on how he uses them, like essentially selling out Hungary and to some extent Ruthenia could be just fine. Or if he sticks by like Hungary and Ruthenia after allowing them to burn, it's maybe not the best option long term. So we'll see. If we look at Hungary, yeah, he obviously lost 100% here. He's still fairly sizable, honestly.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
would
if he
back
could take
well.
back his land, it would be fine. Like, if he would win against Poland, I mean,
To be fair, Ottoman, like if this alliance bloc wants to, they would just take like 1/4 from Russia and then stab out and just go fight Poland, or they could even
mean,
just leave the frontier.
I mean,
and
they
go
can
fight.
just invade Poland from Ruthenia. So.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, this.
I mean, Ruthenia is not in the war against Poland, though.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, and Poland is allied to France, and France is in that war too.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it depends
if
on
they
if-
commit, then France probably going to march over. So
Oh, will he?
I
mean, yeah.
I mean,
Because
he at least said
he was
so,
waiting.
but
Yeah.
I mean,
was fighting
now
for
England
it.
is dead. England, the
Yeah.
war is over again. So
Yeah. I mean, if France comes, it's obviously a different matter. But if France doesn't come, this is just so easy to just wipe up Poland. It will barely even be a distraction for the blocks. So, like, Hungary is definitely possible to save if you want to, or at least you can give it a invest fairly little to try to. Question is if they are interested in doing so. But yeah, I mean, if they lose another 100% to Hungary, like to Poland, size-wise they could still be fine, but they are past like all the defensive forts here, which will make the next wars so much harder.
and they lost their gold mine too, and their capital. Like,
yeah, too big state.
and they don't have a lot of infrastructure except for the capital. Everything else is more or less not built up, I think.
No, it doesn't look like that. Yeah, obviously, like they have built force limit camps.
Force limit camps. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay,
some-
they're playing the Merc game, but then they lost the Merc modifier.
I
Sadly,
mean, Serbia not as an accepted culture. He should have already done that
yeah,
10 years
it's weird.
before.
But yeah, I think the Hungary player is kind of new to multiplayer as well. But
Yeah.
I think he's done a solid job, and this is definitely something that's salvageable with good diplo, or just honestly help from his allies. But we'll see what happens, I guess. And like, if we go over to Ruthenia, this is a nation I'm really, honestly, I'm really, I don't know if I should say proud, but I'm really happy to see. Like, this is a nation that's just been like bankruptcy warring and burning and doing whatever it takes to stay alive, and somehow just, I mean, it still looks like crap, but
He
it
did
looks
have
like,
some help in session 2 though. Like, I mean,
it has had some help, but like it's devved with dip and admin at the start to just get a little bit more force limit. It's
Yeah.
been is this like the second bankruptcy it's going into now, or third? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the
probably
second one, I
third,
think.
I guess.
Yeah, third. And
third.
Yeah. Like, I would say Ruthenia it's a miracle that he's still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was.
this reminds me a little bit of like the session I played Divet over in
Yeah.
Asia. I'm like, you just constantly you bankrupt and then fight and get something done between the bankruptcies. And
Yeah.
I think this is really fun to see it working out and someone sticking in and pulling this shit off.
Yeah, I just wish he would get something, but I mean, his neighbors all just grow more, I think. So
I mean, this war, I don't see why he wouldn't get stuff. Honestly,
yeah,
like,
he will get probably something. Yeah, sure, but
I mean, maybe
I'm not
like,
sure if he gets enough to make up for.
I mean,
Like,
if I was Ottomans, I would give everything to Ruthenia, but
yeah, maybe you take something for yourself down here. I don't know if that's like the idea, but yeah, just if you look at performance-wise for your
Yeah.
alliance,
Yeah,
giving
but-
Ruthenia gives you more
especially
power.
because like this is pretty much worthless to take for
Yeah.
Ottomans, but it's very meaningful for
Ah.
this Ruthenia.
I mean, Ottomans actually has some states, so
but Russia could take like
Yeah,
you can
but-
if you
yeah,
take 5
yeah,
provinces,
the
you can
number.
basically take a lot of forts. Like you can take Pskov, Novgorod, like in the north the forts, or like Moscow.
yeah.
So if you give 7 or 8 provinces to Ruthenia, you can probably take out the 5 defensive forts that are annoying you, and
Yeah.
then
And
all
the
of
Ottomans
Central
have
Russia,
a hit to core cookies, so you should count the states on that.
yeah, they also get all of Mamluks lands though. So
Yeah, I mean, they have plenty of clay to grow, don't get me wrong.
I mean that might work if they give just the land to Ruthenia, then it would probably. But I think Ruthenia is also close to bankruptcy, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's bankruptcy warring. Like,
Okay.
he has a few, I mean, he's not close to bankruptcy, he has a bunch of loans left, but he won't get out of this war without bankrupting. I don't think he bankruptcy built either. So yeah. Not the best scenario, but if he gets clay here, it's still nice for him.
Yeah.
And what was I thinking about? Why the hell did I unpause? Or why the hell do I have a stack here? Oh yeah, did I integrate a vassal? Yeah, that's
You
why.
want to
Okay.
get Mali, maybe?
Oh yeah, that's a malice stack. Fuck me. But yeah, I mean, if we talk about this war, it's just a one war, more or less, for the Ottoman side. I think.
Yeah.
Like, obviously there are, like, you can take a lot more loans as Russia. Like, you can definitely keep fighting, but the point is that the only reason you can fight is because the Turks don't really care.
Yeah, but I mean, still, there's no reason for Russia to give up, because if he uncons, he loses all of his forts, and they probably won't be able to push him to 99%.
No, I mean, I'm not
Either-
saying you should give up. I'm saying, yeah,
So-
keep fighting, and at least, like, drag Hungary and Ruthenia through as much pain as possible, and make Ottomans commit to win.
Yeah,
There's no
I mean,
point
I also have to say, like, Russia's playing this war pretty good. Like, we've been, like,
Yeah,
nitpicking Russia before, but, like, this war, he's heavily outnumbered, even as Russia, but he
Yeah.
did stack wipe, he did scorch earth, like, he went all in, basically, so
Yeah, it seems like he's
I
been
have
playing
to
it
say
really
that's
well.
a real play.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, then
not giving up instantly or anything, but really
Yeah.
going for it.
yeah, then there's the like curious part about getting a humiliation war declared on by Andalusia and refusing to give show strength, so Andalusia has to march.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to give up the prestige, I guess.
I guess. Maybe.
He can still give it up after the war ends.
Yeah, but I would give the prestige over fighting another 50k.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's more than 50k.
Oh, you actually have troops there.
Yeah, I mean I had to march over to get my show strength.
And then I would obviously give it up. As
I mean, I would have told Cookie, like, yeah, I mean, we can stay at war and I will accept it once we end, even if I lose, but
No, he told me to come over, so that's what I'm doing.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So maybe you should talk to him during the session.
Yeah, I mean I've talked to him. I think we worked it out. I shouldn't
now,
tell him, but
if Andalusia pieces out, he could just stun the Ruthenian army, probably, there.
oh yeah, maybe
Yeah.
actually. This
But-
is
Yeah,
is this
you are
locked?
pretty far
No, this is not locked. So
Yo, but Cashin is squash.
yeah, but the Ruthenian army isn't locked. So
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
assume that he cancels. It's fine.
But still, he has like 100. What is this? Like 100k with Sweden, a little bit more, probably like 120k.
Yeah.
So once
Yeah,
the
like-
50
Even if he doesn't
Andalusian
cancel.
troops disappear,
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
But Cookie the Verde is scored as well, so he could probably run into Cashin and then on the Ver.
Yeah, this
Get
might
the
actually be a
fight
good
there.
battle for him. And yeah, I definitely think he's been playing it well. I also I might still tell it, despite it being a bit embarrassing. I think he thought you lost mana from accepting show strength.
okay.
And yeah, we talked about it, and he's probably just going to give it up now. We'll see.
Is he at force limit?
No, he's not.
No, but I
But
mean,
he
he
can't-
max mercs and
Yeah.
that manpower.
Yep.
He has no more
I mean,
manpower.
he could recruit some generals and get some manpower going.
But yeah,
just-
he's.
that-
But I think going for ideals might actually be, I don't know.
I think
Tech
this.
12 is
I
pretty-
think it's Tech 12. You go for here.
Tech
Yeah,
12.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought he
I
had
think,
12 already. I
Yeah,
mean, I
we're
would
seeing,
have gone for the
what he
12.
has left.
Yeah. How many? Oh, he has Trotsky's.
Oh, very
Soon.
soon.
I don't know where they spawn. though, if they're
he
In
needs
the capital.
Moscow. Oh, that feels bad, man.
Hello.
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 Oh, it's Navi. Welcome.
Are
Tim
noobs eligible to join?
Or who? Noobs. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, we already have a bunch of people. You know, noobs.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Everyone except Surdon. Surdon is like the god of EU4, but everyone else is just a noob compared to him.
Imagine that intro.
Yeah, I mean, if he can take Moscow back, that would be huge for him. Actually, how many Streltsky's are these? 24. That's actually a big deal for him right now. So, real awkward that he doesn't have Moscow, but it's something that he might be able to get if he gets one good fight
mean-
here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if Andalusia gets out of the war, he can definitely beat these armies that are around here. And if Sweden commits maybe another 20k, I mean, he should be able to field another 20k probably.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, if Ottomans dedicate, I think this war is really hard to win. But there's no reason to give it
Yeah.
up, and he's putting up a really
And
good fight.
Ottomans
Right?
would have to fully occupy. Like I actually don't think that Ottomans can fight Hungary and Russia at the same time. Like if Ottomans doesn't commit to Russia now and Russia plays it right, I think he can push them back probably.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really. Also, Hungary is. I'm thinking like he's getting fully occupied, so Hungary will be bankrupt rather quickly, which is
No,
another.
he has taken max loans already.
Yeah.
He's-
Okay. But he will be losing a lot of money because
Yeah,
he won't have
income
any
is down.
income.
I mean,
Yeah.
he will lose a lot of money, but this is still like a
But
few
if
few years.
I mean,
worth.
if Russia stacks by Hungary, he can't recruit troops either.
And he
Yeah.
has revanchism now, so
Yeah, this
that's
is
true.
also manpower. Oh yeah, actually, he can just. I mean, I don't know if the Hungary player is coming back. That's a really big deal if he doesn't, since
yeah,
these are.
they could like
yeah.
give the land to
Yeah.
Hungary.
But yeah, I mean, if he's here, you can just give the land to Hungary, and they can recruit mercs. So it's a harsh war, but Russia is fighting it well. And if Sweden dedicates, if Ottoman doesn't dedicate, it's definitely winnable. Even if it's
Yeah.
really awkward for him to like be completely
Sweden
out
should
of manpower.
probably dedicate, else he's gonna probably die if Russia gets weakened by a lot.
I mean, or he just eats Russia.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it depends on like what
if
the
he,
diplomatic.
if he loses Russia, Hanover can probably win one-on-one on him.
Yeah, I don't think Sweden should lose to Russia.
No, probably depends on what other options he has diplomatically. Like if you can trade away an ally that you can eat up and then get some other nice alliances going, that's obviously an option. But that depends on how the diplomatic game plays out, more or less. But yeah, I agree. As is, it's probably not the best idea. His country isn't looking like he wants to go into Russia right now, I would say. Yeah. But anything else you guys want to say about Russia before we jump away?
How many loans can they still take?
Oh, they can take a lot of
A
loans.
lot.
He's only he's on 8 loans. He needs to make sure he needs to make sure to take the loans before he gets more occupied, though. This is
Yeah.
like a border case. I think he might have been better off taking all the loans before he
Yeah.
got
For
his
max
occupied.
loans,
Yeah,
and he could make a lot of regimental camps or something.
yeah. I would probably have bankruptcy ward here, but it's a bit little bit late now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm not sure. It's still a lot of money, right?
I mean,
440
he held
times.
quite a lot in Mosovsk, I think it's the name, like the fort next to Moscow.
Yeah.
I think
He
I think
held
it's.
for a while there.
I mean, I think this is at this point. Maybe he just wanted to, before dedicating fully, he wants to see if he can negotiate something during the week break as well, with like give some useless lands to Ottomans or Ruthenia and then have them focus down here, because he's like already really. He has a lot of clay, if you put it that way, so losing a little bit of land doesn't really hurt Russia that much right
Yeah.
now. So we'll see
Yeah,
what
but
happens.
it's forts that he would lose probably. So
Yeah,
that's
but
kinda-
yeah, I mean, if he unconditionals or stuff like that. But if
yeah,
he
but even
manage,
for step hit, like the fort next to Moscow, which is the good fort that you
Yeah.
want to defend, that's only 8% war score. Then if you take Luki in the north, the
Yeah.
Lucky Fort,
This one, yeah.
and the Pshov Fort also. Maybe you can snake to Novgorod. Like, if you lose those 4 forts, it's hard to defend for later on.
Yeah,
you
but
can
that's
build
what I'm
new
thinking.
forts,
If you like negotiate a peace during the week and just have Ottomans turn to Poland instead, that's definitely an option. If you can give up like 50%, 60% war score of like Great Horde land that you don't really care about at all, I would say, and maybe some land down here, that's totally fine for you. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting option for sure. Speaking of Sweden, then his good friend and ally. I mean, it obviously looks a little bit too shitty right now as it's converting to Orthodox, but I think this still like
I
a
think
really.
it's his third try.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I mean, I've actually
Yeah,
converted
because on the first try, me and Hanover attacked him and Austria,
Yeah.
and Hanover killed the rebels. Then the rebels went into the Hanover into Aland, and
Yeah.
Hanover trapped them and killed them.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I can relate to his pains because I played Sweden, my last campaign before this one, actually, I think. And in that
But
one, I got a religious center, like the Protestant center, spawned up here. So it was
Oof.
complete hell. It just reconverted everything. So I spent like 50 years trying to become Orthodox.
But it looks to me like he can already flip.
Yeah, he can already
potentially.
switch. He's
Yeah,
just.
but he's trying to.
I'm not sure if like, is there anything else he can see? I guess he can
Okay.
let hope.
Lithuanian Order land is also Catholic, so he might not be able to flip.
No, I think sure he can flip. Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can flip. I guess he's just looking to see if he can make it walk down to like here, convert a few more provinces before he accepts them. But yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
but-
what were you saying?
It's also costing him to have his capital and stuff occupied, so I'm not sure. Like, fighting a
should
war
just
and having
lock down
everything
and fight
occupied.
the war.
Yeah, I would also flip now. It's also like the war exhaustion you get from that much land occupied is also.
That doesn't
painful.
matter.
No.
This doesn't
No.
matter for the
Doesn't give war exhaustion.
war exhaustion. Rebels don't give war exhaustion.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the Norwegian lands, like what, free death?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably accept as well. I'm just like
Yeah.
thinking about his train of thought. Yeah, but yeah, it's like unlikely that we'll go to like a high dev area. Like if he could get this converted Värmland or maybe some land down here, it would be nice. But as is, he'll probably just walk around to a bunch of 3 dev Orthodox lands. So yeah, I would probably accept it. But even if you accept it, oh yeah, he's maybe that's why he wants to be emperor for a
Yeah.
little bit longer.
But it's only
Anyway,
8
which
princes
one
left,
the
so it's
emperor?
like 4 force limit and 4k.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But even
He's
once
emperor.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
until I accepted.
Who gets emperor if he swaps?
Norway.
Yikes.
He can also instantly concentrate some metropolitans, take the discipline and manpower advisor and for the war.
Yeah.
So
Oh, he's getting institutions.
But
He should
mean,
check the edicts, definitely.
Oh, this must have been going on for a long time.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
wasted.
I can't imagine he embraced colonialism recently. Oh man, this feels bad.
yeah, I tend to forget them too, but not anymore since I know about the map mode basically.
Yeah.
But in the first like half year of playing multiplayer, I missed it all the time, like defensive edicts and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's really easy to do. Like, I mean, but yeah, Sweden doesn't look that hot really. I mean, if you go Death 4, it's actually decent quality, but this economy is so garbage, it's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he'll get some more trade here once the Rebel, monthly tick updates. I was going to Tampos since it changes so much, but it's still like a really shit economy, not a lot of dev.
Yeah. I mean, a potential idea would actually be to make a deal with Hanover, like give Hanover the trade, and then maybe have help get into, I don't know, with Russia into Ruthenia or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he doesn't really have an expansion road, and he can't beat Hanover, and so
yeah, this is what
like, a
I
deal might be an idea.
yeah, this is what I was thinking about. Like, if you can do a diplomatic switch and abandon Russia
Yeah, but,
and
I
ally
mean,
Central
Why
Powers,
would Hanover help Sweden against Russia?
because
If Sweden abandons Russia, then Hanover can just turn on Sweden and kill Sweden.
yeah, obviously, like it would depend some on trust, but Sweden forwarding all the trade and making a trade deal with Hanover, and Hanover is sort of already under threat from Burgundy, so
Yeah.
there is some room to negotiate things.
The alternative, most importantly for Sweden, would be to ally Burgundy and fight Hanover
Yeah.
with Burgundy in France later on.
Exactly. So
For Hanover, having a secure front, like getting the trade and being safe from the north would actually make sense, because then he can focus on defending against Burgundy-France threat. So.
yeah, this is like a really interesting diplomatic position, and even a nation like as weak as Sweden, because I think Sweden is really weak right now. If it gets just a little bit more clay and like quantity finished, it will be a lot better of a spot. But right now it's really weak. But even like they have a lot of diplomatic options and room to make deals. It's really exciting to me.
How many loans has Sweden had?
Yes, like 3.
Oh, not too bad then.
He's not really dedicating in this war. He's not. It's this like I mean, a bit like
he's
Ottomans, but at least Sweden has such a shitty economy that it actually hurts him a little bit.
Yeah, but he made it even worse, I think, with the rebels. Like, I mean, of course you want to flip now, so it makes sense that you don't want to miss another opportunity to flip to Orthodox. But at the same time, if you can't fight this war really and Russia dies, then Sweden misses even more allies and is basically... I mean, I wouldn't say dead, but like long term it's hard to... Unless he gets to be vassal of Burgundy, I don't see anyone who can help him against Hanover.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
to
Russia,
me,
so
the play I want to make here in Sweden is to just try to make a deal with Hanover and Prussia and go into Russia, given the current diplomatic state. So who knows what he's trying to do? That's like what I think the ideal play. Like if you stick to Russia, feels like you're slowly. It feels like you're slowly going to die anyways, because it's really hard for Russia to help you against Prussia and Hanover to get clay here, while also being occupied with Ruthenia and Ottomans. So I don't see where you actually grow if you go that route. I guess you're already close to state caps, you can dev a little bit, but there's more potential to me to switch up the diplomatic situation a little bit. But yeah, should we talk a little bit about Poland? Ice! What's up with Poland?
So there was a plan for France to actually help against the Ottomans in a war. And everyone was basically ready, except France, because he saw an opportunity to attack Great Britain and took it, then placed all his troops in Great Britain for 15 years, because he feared he would truce break. And then he just let Mamluks die, essentially.
Okay.
So yeah, it got delayed a lot, and now Ottomans for some reason decided to declare on Russia. So we saw an opportunity to attack Hungary, both Austria, Prussia, and me. Hungary unconditional to them though. So I thought I was basically gonna die because I was alone against both Hungary and Ottomans. But for some reason, Ottomans is just AFK.
Chilling in.
Chilling. So I just slowly sieged all of Hungary down.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, seems like really chill for you. No loans. You even have some manpower left.
I mean, yeah, I just used the manpower. It took a lot of manpower to siege it all, but it's because I have no vision. So I'm scared that suddenly an Ottoman stack will just come.
Oh, fair.
And at least Great Britain unconditional.
Yeah.
So now France should be free to ship away his troops.
Yeah, if he wants to.
I mean, he told me he wants to, but let's see. But if he does it, he should be able to get there in like 1 year. I mean, Ottomans is ahead of him in score. So like, if he wants to get his first place, now's the time to beat him up.
I mean, this like score, to be fair, at this point doesn't matter that much. We're only at 50.
It's still,
but I still think if Poland dies to Ottomans, Hungary and Ruthenia, it's going to be much more harder for France long term.
I mean, I would probably toss in some. At least it depends on like what the diplomatic situation is, but I would definitely consider just half dedicating some troops as France here.
But I mean, France has a lot of
maintain a power balance
and a lot of income reserves, so he can easily send like 50 or 100k.
The question is mostly like, how worried are you about like Hanover, Prussia, Austria, Poland? Like these guys being friends, maybe you just rather have them taken down a peg. So it's an interesting. So it depends a lot on France essentially, assuming that Ottomans actually come over and do something.
Yeah, it's only because I got the alliance with France that I actually decided to stay because I knew that would be a chance at living.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, I don't think you look too bad. After this war, you'll be
I
like
mean, yeah.
450 dev. It's fairly good land you got going.
Yeah.
You're
I
forced
can take
linked
about
quality.
100 dev.
Yeah.
The
I
quality is
mean-
gonna be a lot better once I finish offensive. It's not that great right now.
I mean, it's still, yeah, it's not that great, but it's decent. I feel.
I'm gonna get another 10 discipline once I finish it.
I mean, Poland looks better than like Ruthenia, Hungary, Sweden. That's like a lot of neighbors. It's still stronger than. So
yeah, but
I wouldn't feel too.
stronger than. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're not the top power, but you're not
No,
you're not
no.
irrelevant, and you still have options. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Also, I don't have a truce with everything. Yeah. So.
No,
could potentially
but
do something there.
yeah,
but-
exactly.
Yeah, but if he forces the Ottomans, like, to break with Hungary,
I mean,
or
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
that's-
in case Russia actually wins, he could make Rusinia break. It would be free clay essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there is. I think there's a lot of hope for Poland. I think this is like. I mean, Sweden obviously has a lot of room to grow as well, but like for Poland, it's more obvious where you can grow, and
I mean,
you're
yeah,
in a
I
little
have
bit
three,
stronger of a spot to do so.
three enemies, and I have some good cause as well if I can get them back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think this is too bad at all. It's fine. I think like one of the bigger issues is how strong Prussia has
Yeah.
become next year.
Russia
I
is
saw-
weak as fuck, man.
Yeah,
But
Surdon,
Prussia is really strong.
do you want to talk about how weak Prussia is?
I mean, I just finished quantity, so
Yeah, yes.
I have a really insane air as well.
Yes, yeah, Prussia looks really weak. I mean, I can't.
Ew. Fucking scuffed.
Sadly, I'm not Orthodox.
No, yeah, I
Good.
mean, this is just terrible.
I got the gold mine in Hungary, which gonna make me a bit of income, so I don't have to trust that much in the Hanoverian subs.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
And I got
Prussia.
Cologne for free, so
Prussia is a bit scary. He also has his victory card on me.
Uh,
So
I mean, you
yeah.
can sell it later on.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Prussia has been quietly growing every session, and I think it's just like
Yeah.
overtaken all the neighbors right now. As the
yeah,
big,
he's
big
at
guy
like
of
500
Europe.
death, I think.
I think he's been a lot enabled by me.
Yeah,
though.
450.
Like I helped
Yeah, I
him
mean,
get a
Austria
Teutonic land from
helped
Sweden.
me a lot.
Leon, can you? Yeah,
Yeah.
Leon, talk a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So basically, when Prussia was fighting Sweden, I helped him to get the Teutonic land back, and we split Bohemia, and now we split Hungary basically. So I think long term it probably helps him more than me, but I feel like I need another strong military power to kind of balance against Ottomans and France, and Austria is not that super strong, so I need good allies around me. And just hope that they don't turn on me and end
Yeah.
up killing me, of
It's-
course, but
It's definitely a risky gamble, but you've succeeded in getting a strong military ally, for sure. Like this
Yeah.
Prussia is actually really
Like-
good.
for example, if France would solo fight Austria and Prussia right now, I'm fairly certain, like without Burgundy, of course. Burgundy is super strong too, but only France, I think we could at least push back to a certain amount of time. I'm not sure if we could win, but it wouldn't be like an easy walk for France anymore.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I think like these three nations, Austria, Prussia, Hanover, against Burgundy and France, is kind of even right now. But
Yeah.
if France, just because France doesn't build, I mean, we can just touch on this. France does not like its
Yeah,
infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once he gets quantity ideas, he's also going to grow. But then again, I also get quantity ideas.
Yeah.
And like the German land is decent to defend because a lot of like woods and mountains
Yeah.
and hills.
You have
Yeah.
the Black
So-
Forest in the south, you have the Alps, the
Yeah,
Rhine.
there's definitely some opportunity here, and it's while Prussia obviously could start stabbing people left and right, it's still an interesting position
Yeah.
with so many neighbors. And
I'll be right back, guys.
I mean, my economic infrastructure is pretty behind though.
yeah,
You check my manufactories, I think I have only one.
oh yeah, yeah, I don't see any. Oh, is there one there? Yeah,
I'm
there's one there.
building one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have some temples, I guess, and workshops, but yeah, economic infrastructure is meh. You're
I've been trusting a lot in the subs from Hanover, so
Yeah.
I didn't really build that much I can.
but yeah,
I mean,
like-
I think the three nations of us are basically dependent on each other right now. Like the Ottoman, that's also why we decided to attack the Ottoman huckbox with Hungary and Ruthenia, because if they would have gotten away by just killing Poland and killing Russia, then like, I mean, of course France is a big danger with Burgundy, but at the same time, if we ignore the East and they just
you get sandwiched eventually.
Yeah, like it's we kind of have to be. That's also why I'm like, you have to be careful in our situation. I think what you make, and
Yeah,
so
I mean, essentially, here you went with the very passive solution, and here you went with a more proactive approach. And
yeah, but there's a big difference though, because
Yeah.
France also has in the south Andalusia, which gets all of Africa for free more or less. So long term, France.
Yeah.
If he turns on us and fights us, he always has to be careful about like a second front. Whereas Ottomans, I don't see having a
No.
second front. So
yeah, that's fair. Ottomans are really safe in the Middle East right now.
and Ruthenia is also like Surdon. So once he gets provinces and builds up, and if he would get the Polish land, I think
well,
he would
and if he
instantly
forms
be.
Russia as well, so he's gonna be strong
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I mean,
But
they
I don't
do-
think Russia will be formed. I think it already has so many provinces. It would take forever to.
Yeah, it's
Kill him.
more likely that Ruthenia forms Poland. I think if they manage to conquer their way here, depending on how it plays out. But
So,
yeah,
like, yeah, it was hard to like like I thought about the game a lot and about like how to balance the situation, and it always come out with me basically being not the most relevant nation, so I had to kind of balance everyone, and so it's
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
of-
know.
that's
If it
often
was
the Austria
the
position.
right call.
yeah. I would play it differently as Austria for sure, but like
I mean,
assuming that
Russia
Prussia.
is strong as well because Cologne didn't show this session,
Yeah.
so it was free play for us.
To be fair, Cologne was free clay anyways, almost. It's just really, really weak. It was only like diplomatically it could have survived. It was not. It wouldn't have posed a challenge for.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel hard to kill someone that doesn't show.
No, that's fair. For your like sensitive conscience, it was nice that Cologne didn't show.
Basically.
Yeah, but I mean, Prussia is looking really good. Like the only thing here is, I guess, that while these nations depend some of on each other, Prussia is definitely one that depends the least on the others. Because like France, Austria and Hanover are definitely more in the expansion path of France and Burgundy than Prussia is. So Prussia does have the ability to do some diplomatic juggling if they desire to, while Hanover and Austria don't really have that luxury in the same way.
I mean, now I have the Rhineland, so maybe Burgundy wants to kill me.
Yeah, I mean you do, but it's still like Lübeck matters more than Rhineland, so because you can't push Rhineland to directly to the English Channel.
Right.
You have to go through Ile-de-France or to Lübeck.
Yeah,
So
and
this
and
is
you
a better
don't have-
expansion route.
And you don't have to own Rhineland, it's an inland node, so if
Yeah.
you have a 1k dev, you can just put a merchant there and you take 20% anyways. So
Yeah, exactly. So like Rhineland, I feel like obviously you could expand here, but as Hanover, you're way more vulnerable than Prussia here. You're also an easier target. Looking a little bit at Hanover, it's finally become relevant, I think. It was really just a moneymaker and not that great of a moneymaker before this session, but with quality filled out and Hanover IDs, it actually has a decent amount of quality and troop numbers. So while it's not like the strongest nation, it can definitely hold its own and probably beat Sweden and definitely be a relevant force in a war.
he would need more provinces though. Like I feel like he would benefit heavily from fighting Sweden, because if he had like 5 more states, he could build force limit buildings everywhere, and he would basically be. I mean, that's what I feel like is missing from Hanover: a bunch of provinces to give him force limit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's fine.
Yeah, I mean he lacks a lot of infrastructure. I'm not sure why this is like a trade deal going here, but it seems to have all been invested into Prussia military.
No, I mean, if you check his income, he could probably build up a lot, but he just doesn't do it.
Yeah, it's still a little bit weird.
My subs has been actually lowered a bit
Okay.
since you said that I was getting the best part of the deal.
Okay, I mean, like looking at it, I mean it's more fair now. You might still be getting a slightly better deal, but this is definitely more reasonable for sure. especially given how strong you are right now.
Yeah, but to be fair, like Hanover depends on Prussia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that Prussia
now-
gets the better deal makes sense.
Yeah,
anyway.
now they do, but they didn't like before in that large extent. Like before, I would say Prussia was as dependent on Hanover as the
Yeah,
other way around
money-wise,
almost.
they've
Yeah, like
independent
Prussia
on
is
Hanover.
still. Ooh, I mean, I guess you can bankrupt towards Prussia for infrastructure, but if these subs stop coming, you are really poor. As
I mean, I'm
Prussia.
actually giving him trade. so-
Yeah, I know, but
And I haven't focused on trade buildings or.
yeah, but like
Or I think
you would make at most, I guess, with subs, if we stretch them, you'd make like less than 50 ducats a month. It feels
Yeah.
pretty bad, especially when you try to feel like 120k in a war. But yeah, I definitely agree. Hanover needs to expand. It's either into Sweden, which is like seems the easiest way.
Isn't
But-
it also the best way? Like
Uh,
finishing up Lubeck, he could
I mean-
take.
I mean, it's the thing we talked about before, I guess. I feel like you could. It's a sort of attractive option to make a deal with Sweden and then go for Burgundy if you have the opportunity to. Question if that's reasonable or not. Because
The issue of going against Burgundy is that France is in the way.
yeah, I mean, obviously this is a hard war, but it's not getting easier if you put it that way. What happens once Burgundy and France owns the British Isles as well? It's going to be really, really nasty for Hanover because the best expansion route is for
the issue
sure.
is that France may
into
defend
Lubeck.
Burgundy, but may not help Burgundy expand into Germany.
Yeah,
So
and if that's the case, I don't know why. But like the diplomatic deal is going on here, then if you're safe against Burgundy, obviously just blob into Sweden, even if it's
I mean,
like, worse.
right now I could 1v1 Burgundy for sure. Like
Yeah, I mean, Burgundy is strong, but Prussia is incredibly powerful. But yeah, before we jump over there, Leon, do you want to say any more words about Austria, or like?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I gotten stronger this session. My burgers, I think, are unhappy right now. That's why I don't make a lot of trades.
Yeah, I mean, like Austria has gotten stronger every session. It's just not.
Yeah.
In often it hasn't grown as quickly as its neighbors.
Yeah, so I'm going to. Yeah, I mean, once I upgrade my advisors, make more money with the burgers, I think. I'm not going to be super strong, but I'm not going to be super weak either.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, quantity is soon done. I definitely think, and then you'll have the. It's just 3%, but it's 30% reinforced speed as well,
yeah,
which
it's only
isn't. Where,
3%.
I mean, 30% reinforced speed is actually quite a nice bonus. Not like.
Yeah.
Not something I would trade raw military power for, but as a utility bonus, it's definitely one of military
Yeah.
utility bonus. It's one of the nicer ones to me. It
It's
saves
But
you.
most of my plans for this session basically didn't work, so it's kind of sad. Like, I actually talked to Poland about forming Poland after he forms Ruthenia, but now somebody else formed Ruthenia, so it's like forever away if possible at all.
Yeah.
And not taking Italy early on was a big mistake, I think, because it cost me so much money that I didn't make, so I couldn't have advisors to make up for my bad rulers. It was,
Yeah.
I don't know, like a lot of, I misplayed a bit. I did some like Diplo that was stupid. Like I talked to someone and then when the session started, I actually did something else. I think I did that with Lithuania once. So they kind of put me as the evil guy number 3. So it's like, I don't know, it's I'm not very happy with this session, but
Yeah.
I think Austria is still not that. Like it's a decent nation, and if Prussia doesn't backstab me, I think long term the German bloc can still be somewhat relevant.
Yeah, I mean,
At least Prussia. I mean, Prussia is relevant anyways, but I think Austria and Hanover also can be somewhat relevant.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, this might also be time to get out of HRE soon, so you're not stuck in
Yeah.
Stachy.
I mean,
I just-
we were
I just-
actually.
I just waited for France to not be emperor because that would give him claim all over me. So that was a
Yeah.
big, rather not have that happen. But
Yeah.
I guess now I'm probably going to leave.
I think the
We don't
best
get
way
any-
to leave is to wait for the war to.
Yeah, like
fire.
it's in 9
Well,
years. It's true. Yeah.
So
just
we can
here.
pop it out since we are part of the empire as Protestant.
Yeah,
mean,
I
at
mean,
least
if
that's Russia.
Sweden flips to Orthodox, I think Norway gets to be emperor.
Yeah.
So at that point, we can have a pretty easy war.
I mean, if Gantemir and And Hanover, both for Castile maybe, or
Yeah, we could also. Yeah, that's true. We should make it someone in Europe, like Castile or something.
so it's easy to siege down.
Yeah.
I mean, Cookie can easily siege down Castile and win
Yeah.
the war for us.
Yes,
And get the
very
bonus for
wholesome.
it, so...
Yes.
Or Portugal can do it. I mean, Portugal also has its capital.
Yeah, I mean, but they
Everybody
wanna
gets
get
something
the...
out of it.
They
Yeah.
wanna get the bonus from winning
Yeah.
the war, so...
But yeah, I mean, like, obviously, luck has been the best for Austria, but it's still looking in a decent spot. Like, I feel like it's, as you said, it's missing some power right now because of disloyal burghers. It's just this land isn't cored yet. This is a vassal, not integrated
And
yet.
if
Like,
he can eat more of,
Yeah.
of Hungary,
yeah.
he's gonna be strong.
Yeah, and I got Baden this session, and I got Ferrara this
Oh,
session.
yeah, this one.
And I'm
Oh, yeah.
Baden is almost done integrating.
Yeah, I think like once this like states jump up here, this gets integrated, you get 5 more states. I actually think this is going to be a fairly strong nation. So
Yeah, and
feel
I
like-
get, like, in 2 months or so, I get the Estates General. So finally my retarded rulers going to stop existing.
yeah, that
And
too.
great
I feel like Austria is like it's significantly weaker than Prussia right now, but it actually has like a big power burst coming up in a few years. So give like Austria.
I also think
10
he should
years.
shuffle his forts a bit because they're pretty badly placed.
Yeah, I mean they're on basically a mountain line, but they don't protect me. Once I integrate Baden, I'm going to build them in a way that I'm actually protected. But I think building forts in like Bern or Waadt or Wallis is actually stupid because you don't have the time to put your troops there if you get attacked, so they just get assaulted and then you lose them basically. So.
I mean, but Valve State would be okay, I think.
I mean, it depends. Is it
Yeah, Waldstadt would
14
make
for
sense, yeah.
Bastion? Yeah. Yeah, you'd probably need level 2 forts, level 4 forts. I mean, level 2
Maybe
forts are
Outside.
like really easy to take down at this point. But yeah, I mean, I would probably try to get a fort line around here.
Yeah, that's the idea. But I think it's once I integrate my vessel, I build the 2
Yeah.
to manage it.
I mean, I think this is fair, honestly. As is, like, I understand that you can't prioritize everything, and given
Yeah, I mean,
Austria's
just
problem
I mean-
with
keep that in mind.
IDs and economy,
My
maybe it's fair.
my
to
income is
focus on
actually
everything.
decent if you go to income. Like
Yeah.
if you add 30% trade efficiency to that, I make like 27 ducats, I think, from trade.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I actually was at like close to 90 income, which
Yeah.
isn't extremely good, but it's close to Ottomans actually. So.
Yeah, I mean, Austria is quite rich. I was saying that, like, given your mana, I can see you prioritizing other things than getting a huge fort line up and just relying on diplomacy
Yeah.
to keep yourself
And
somewhat safe.
I'm actually decently built up regarding force limit buildings and stuff like that. Which
Ah.
is also a disadvantage because I can't build them anymore, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously, better to have them than not. Yeah, actually, Austria has a lot of infrastructure. Missing a
not
lot.
a lot of manufacturers though, yeah.
No, last 2 years haven't been built up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we proceed, I guess let's go to Great Britain. So Great Britain was being slightly greedy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not having any heavies and got really badly punished for it with Sea Lion. I don't even think it was much of Sea Lion, as France and Burgundy had more heavies than Great Britain. But yeah, they lost. They took a nasty piece bite here, and as we can see, Great Britain unconditionaled again. I don't really like that. I think he could just have held, even bankrupt. He could maybe have held.
he just bankrupted.
Yeah, I know,
Or he
but
said he was
like
bankrupt.
but even bankrupt, he might have been able to hold against. Like, they only have 24 heavies. He has 44. He has his national IDs. He might have been able to hold this. It would have been close. I don't really agree with the unconditional, anyways. But like once he pieces out here, he will be at like 60 income, and that's before the trade gets updated as well, if I remember correctly. So in practice,
Yeah, but
he's
the
like.
The problem is now that he uncomped, they will be able to take this straight to Ireland.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next war, he will be 100%ed anyways.
Exactly. I
They
mean,
don't
not
even have to keep all the troops there necessarily. Like, if they leave 80k now there, it's probably enough.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a rough position with this unconditional. Like, the first, I think you could deal with, maybe, but giving you straight over to Ireland as well, and like preempting you from dragging on the war indefinitely, waiting for them to leave or get attacked elsewhere, makes it really awkward for him. But there are still like plays to be made, to be fair. England actually can't be 100% normally, as I mean, if you want, like, normally you should be able to stay away from 100% just from not having forts here and having a bunch of colonial nations and a few colonies with forts and stuff. So I think you can still be a huge pain in the butt towards France and Burgundy, and if you manage to find some friends to do anything on the mainland, you could definitely take this back. But as is, it's obviously a really hard position for him. Depends a lot on what they take. I can see that seems to have transferred some centers of trade to Burgundy, so if they for some reason take this instead of taking us straight over to Ireland, then this obviously gives England a lot more options, as they can simply build forts on Ireland and chill here, and France and Burgundy can't ever get over 50% to stab hit them, so we'll see what happens. What do you guys think England should do?
Let's have lost the islands.
Fair. But I mean, given this position, what do you think he should do?
I'm not certain he can hold on to the islands.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe he can try some very late exodus or something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think England is like in that bad of a position.
He still has a lot of money to make.
Yeah,
probably.
he's making a lot of money. It will take time for, even if he was to get Ireland, it will take a lot of time for them to take it. So either he can find diplomatic solutions, or he can try to like exodus to the Caribbeans, because he has he has obviously the British IDs. He has a good amount of tech and IDs. I mean, really good tech despite bankrupting. I don't think this is over by any means for him. But this is obviously not a position you want to be in as England. It's a lot of work going to waste.
But I don't really see how he would prevent them from just taking all of the islands.
I mean, it depends on if they take the crossing, and also...
But I think they will.
Yeah, but then it's also the fact that it will take them time to take the islands, and you're 700% right now. That's
yeah, but they're gonna come back every 15 years.
Yeah, and in that time you can easily establish a base in America, get like 4 colonies in every region you don't have a colonial nation in, and then just transfer your capital, and you're actually fairly strong. And then you still have the course on the Isles, if they don't spend war score revoking that, and you can just threaten to come back with the navy forever for the rest of the game. Obviously, it's a really bad position for England, but I think you're still alive and you can make plays.
Yes.
To hold on to the Isles, you'll need to do diplomacy with like people in Europe, but even if you don't, you're not dead by any means.
I mean, once the world gets opened more, you could also go for like forming Japan or stuff like that. Oh no,
Yeah.
Great Britain is endgame tag. Damn.
Yeah, Great Britain is endgame tag. It's also like...
But still, you can like move capital to New World, go for Indonesian land, like make trade company stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think as you are right now, I think you would you wouldn't go for land military anyways. I would go for like naval, and then try to reclaim the British Isles later on.
I mean, he can probably reclaim them if Burgundy and France are busy.
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to hold the Isles against a naval nation, even if they are relatively small, since they can just land and blockade you.
Depends. I guess Burgundy can form Netherlands.
Yeah, but Netherlands can't do anything against Great Britain IDs, and it's also the fact...
Not those ideas, no.
And it's also the fact that, like, then you have to invest in naval and maritime and stuff like that as Burgundy when you're in this position.
And Burgundy and France also have to be careful about Europe still.
Yeah, exactly. So
now that Prussia formed, that Andalusia is growing.
Yeah, so I think, like, I'm not sure if he will Dutch, but I think if he hangs in there, there will be opportunities to make plays as Great Britain, and I definitely don't think you're out of the game.
I would actually like to see Dutch roach a bit in Great Britain.
I mean, yeah, what I would do is primarily try to find allies and obviously get the truce break when people aren't on the Isles. But if that's not an option, I would just like slowly give up Great Britain while I let them siege down and then stab it or give them like out, so it takes a while. And in the meantime, just use that to consolidate as many colonies as possible, and dab them up and get mana and stuff like that before moving to America. Because as is, you can get 4 colonies in Peru, 4 in La Plata, 4 in Brazil, 4 in Colombia, 4 in Caribs, and 4 in
Louisiana.
I think that's, and actually for
And
in
even
Canada.
I think.
Yeah, so there, and like you could also get provinces here and here, depending on the deal with Portugal. So you can get a huge power base before you move. Maybe not huge, but you'll be like, if you dev it properly, it's probably like around 150, 200 dev is what you can get to before you're forced to move. And that combined with expansion, exploration, and economic is definitely enough for you to start building a power base. So I'm really curious to see what he'll make happen.
You also still get a lot of gold mines in South America.
Yeah.
And I think the Mexican ones are also still available.
Yeah,
so
exactly. You can just release your colonial nations. You can use them to conquer this for yourself, and then you just release them and eat them up. So
yeah,
this is like really easy clay for him. All of this as well. Once he
I
moves.
mean, it will take 100 years for him to become strong again, or maybe
Yeah.
50 if he plays it perfectly. But
yeah,
I mean, he's still like Exodus with a strong economy. Obviously, goes quicker than one with the OPM.
Yeah,
so-
I mean, and at this point you also colonize really quickly. What is it at? Oh, it's minus 83 now, but that's because of bankruptcy. So it'd be like plus 120 right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have the... What? Oh yeah, he's not finished expansion, so he'll get another 20 there and another colonists. Like, this will be quite quick. I wouldn't count England out, even if this obviously is a huge setback that shouldn't be underestimated. England, Great Britain is just a broken tag that can do whatever they want and they just won't die. Honestly. But yeah, moving on to something else. Burgundy, I think, has grown a lot this session. They've always been like playing second fiddle to France, and they obviously still do. But with them getting a hold on the channel, on the Isles, finishing up a third ID group in offensive, they're actually looking way better than they were before. So what do you think Burgundy will do next? Maybe Surdon, being in Prussia.
I think that he will either consolidate on England and just try to build up using the new income he's gonna get.
Yeah.
Or try to make a play on central Germany. Well, northern Germany.
Yeah, exactly.
On Hanover, against Hanover and Prussia. Maybe Austria if he wants to join.
I
Yeah.
can't ally Hanover sadly because Hanover hates me. I have, I think, 300 aggressive expansion on him.
Oh, feels bad, man.
But I have aggressive like if you look at Austria's coalition map mode, it's like it's really like ridiculous. Even Prussia almost breaks, even though he has been allied to me while I took all the land. So
Okay, this is also a reason why you should dismantle HRE. But
There
yeah.
is no point anymore since we own the whole agery.
Yeah, I mean, at this point it doesn't help, but if it was on a little bit earlier, it would be less say. But yeah, that's actually really awkward. That leaves Burgundy with a lot of options. If Austria can't help Hanover.
Maybe Austria can guarantee Hanover.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not so sure. Nope. He can't. Ooh. So this is like, I mean, it depends a lot on how France views this alliance, because he's obviously, it seems like Burgundy is getting most of the English Channel, having been granted this land and has control over the trade centers here. So it might just be temporary for the trade, but I would imagine that's going to Burgundy. In which case, France might feel like, well, I helped you enough, now it's my turn to get some clay. But if not, this is obviously a really huge vulnerability for you Germans that Austria can't help Hanover whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, solid nation. Still obviously at the mercy of France, however. What do you guys want to say about France? Leon, you spoke some about it, but Surdon.
It's really scary.
It is, huh?
He can basically do whatever he wants, and considering he technically won't fight Andalusia for the next 60 years, that means he only has one way to go into, which is either killing the Central Germans or helping them against his core enemy, which is the Ottomans. So
yeah, to be fair, he doesn't really need more clay, but he can do whatever he wants. Yeah, I mean, this is still kind of weird, but he has way better infrastructure now after this session. Still lacking some military infrastructure, but once he gets this up, and like quantity finish, there is nothing that just. Oh my! Like on the ratings, I put him as a 6, and like Andalusia, Ottomans, and Prussia as a 5 in military, but that's really just temporary and barely the case. Like France is so much ahead of anyone else in this game. It's crazy. And with Great Britain out of the way as well, more or less, this is there's no one who can fund enemies of him as easily, and no one who can post like a trap in the north either, so it just safeguards another front. I think this was a really nice play by him, given Great Britain's vulnerability. Though it depends on how tight his alliance is with Burgundy. If he gives Burgundy too much, maybe that will make Burgundy less reliant and more likely to turn on him, so I don't know. Iced, are you here? Nah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah, what do you think France should do next?
He should help Poland.
Oh yeah, true. That's what he should do. I forgot about that slight detail. But yeah, I mean, there are still a lot of options. France is honestly... I mean, comparatively, I don't think it's grown as much as some other nations this session, as it's been busy fighting
He
Great
basically
Britain.
fought the whole war, as far as I know, against Great Britain. Like,
Yeah.
Poland didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's still eaten up here, but yeah, given that it's a state limit, he hasn't grown that much this session in
He
power.
created Naples.
But once he finishes up quantity and gets some more infrastructure up, he'll get another spike and just overtake everyone. There's like some possibility for someone doing something to France in the next, maybe, I don't know, 10 years, but after that he's just with like a coalition. But given that everyone is busy, that seems really unlikely, and after that he's just the undisputed king again in the game. I mean, he is the king for sure, but right now there are other nations that are like somewhat close, like the Ottomans, but that won't be the case for much longer. Moving west, we have Portugal. So, what to say about Portugal? My neighbor, fairly new player, really nice guy. I think it's really cool. He's been getting into this game. He's been like really involved, talking with a lot of people, doing a lot of Diplo. As is, he's obviously playing pretty much purely a trading nation, and given that he doesn't have trade IDs finished yet, it's not really looking all that impressive right now. But I think given some time and time to finish up trade IDs and get trade web up, I think he'll be able to get a fairly big economy going.
If he gets into the Malaysia,
Yeah,
he
especially
can
if he
make
gets...
a lot of money.
Yeah, like he's already over here, so...
Oh.
Kill,
Then
kill,
sure.
yeah, oh, he has... Yeah, I mean, he's been colonizing quite well. I think, like, right now, obviously, Portugal doesn't offer that much. It has the worst army in the world, probably worse than the bankrupt British army. But, I mean, that's not the strength, essentially. Assuming that France and then Andalusia doesn't kill him, he'll be an economic powerhouse, I think, in... At least before 1600, I would expect Portugal to look really cool regarding his income. Anything you guys want to say about Portugal?
Not really. Haven't
Not
talked
really.
to him at all.
No, not really. Let's move over to Andalusia. Great nation, 10 out of 10. Would look at again. But yeah, Andalusia, I mean, it was a nice session in the way that I was just able to, more or less, with an exception here, stay out of like player wars and just build up. But I had it horrible with like me. I couldn't take States General since I was an ICTA, so I've had to spend a bunch of time paying down corruption from swapping from ICTA to plutocracy, and I've also had like 2 heirs or rulers that really good die and got like a 302 ruling my country for most of the session, so I felt there was a lot of wasted potential going on for me. I felt like I couldn't do that much. I could just fight some AI, but barely had the mana to... I obviously managed to fill out the IDs, but I didn't have like any mana to develop, so I'm not like overly happy with how the last session went, despite it being like really nice if we look at it from a global perspective. Like the internal management of my nation wasn't that nice. Still though, Andalusia is like the, I think, top 4 nations right now. France, Andalusia, Ottomans and Prussia are the strongest nations in the game right now. And if you look at Prussia, they are quite heavily reliant on subs and economic support from Hanover or someone else. So maybe like the 3 biggest nation are Ottomans, France and Andalusia strength-wise. I do think Andalusia is the weakest of those 3, but still, I'm happy to be in the 3rd spot, given that I had to essentially bow down to France and just let him take all of Genoa. And I think, like, looking at it, it's really hard to dev efficiently as Andalusia with this clay, but so I think it's going to be like hard for me to overtake France or Ottomans, or maybe even Russia and Prussia. I can dev like here and here, which I kind of don't want to, as it's very vulnerable. But yeah, this is like where I can dev efficiently, and so I think it's like unlikely that I'm going to be able to overtake nations. But I think it's like fairly safe to say that Andalusia will be a top 5 nation for the foreseeable future, unless something weird happens. Which I guess
have some free dev.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm actually can't take it because I'll be at territory corruption point. I mean, that's both a good and a bad sign in some ways. Like, obviously having this much clay is really nice, but the fact that I'm at only 800 dev and I'm already about to hit territory corruption limit is...
Where is your capital? Is it Europe?
It's here, yeah.
Okay, so you can do trade company.
Yeah, I can trade company this. I just integrated these guys like a month ago, so I can trade company this, and like maybe it's not that much I can trade company. It's like here and
but you can colonize.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a color. You have one colonist.
Yeah, I have one colonist, so I can go further down here and get even more states. This, yeah, I mean,
Congo has opened as well, so you can just colonize next to it, get a claim, and then wrap all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
As a trade company. So.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not actually. I thought it was.
No, it's like it's just the coast. It's like it's not that hot. Like I can get like 1, maybe 3 trade company states, which obviously is nice, but it doesn't really solve the problem that I think I have so much worse clay to do.
You can even maybe stop all the trade in the Ivory Coast if you get a lot of trade power there.
Yeah, but that's unlikely. Right now, Portugal has the trade centers. I would have to fight him over that, and I don't think that's in my interest, really. It's not something I want to do, at least. But yeah, it's like... It's really hard to make a really, really strong nation in this position, because I just have such shitty land to dev, but I think I'm... And
you can always march spam all that shitty land.
Yeah, once I get client states, and I really don't like that strategy. But yeah, I mean, I could get like influence IDs as 6th ID and then spam out a bunch of OPM marches. That's an option for sure later on. Wait, I don't really like that strategy, and I think it's a smidge overrated. What we're talking about, for those who don't know, is that you can stack these modifiers, Vassal Force Limit Contribution, and the Duce is one of the better nations for it, given that they have this one, and they also have, as you can see, a bunch of really bad clay, and then once you get client states, you spit them all out as OPM marches, and you'll get a shit ton of force limit, which in itself doesn't do that much, but it also increases your Merc force limit, which lets you field a lot of troops in a def war. But yeah, I shouldn't complain though. It's a nice nation. What do you guys think about Andalusia? And what
I think it's pretty strong.
Yeah, what should I do as Andalusia? Because this is like... I'm honestly a little bit torn.
Pretty sure. Where should we record?
It's here.
Oh.
I mean, I know I should kill Portugal, but I don't want to. So if we exclude that...
you could maybe snipe some of the Egypt land from the Ottomans.
I mean, I could try, but that's like, once again, I'm already at state cap. It's...
Yeah, but that's good land that you...
Yeah, it's some of the better states.
And it's good to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. This does hold some value if I can get to it. I don't think it's...
And it also flows into Tunis, no, I think?
No.
I think it goes directly to Genoa.
Yeah, it goes to Genoa. So it's like something I was considering, but I'm not sure if I want to open up that front. There's also...
You can
I mean,
colonize your way
you can also take the desert in Libya.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to Ethiopia.
And I mean, the front is going to be opened anyways. Cookie once Ottomans eats Mamluks.
Yeah,
so
but
we
this
need
is
to borrow
this
him
is
anyway.
this is a really good front to defend. This is not a good front to defend.
Yeah,
So that's like
yeah, but you wanna take the good line to defend.
yeah, but I don't think I'll have the option since I got a truce with Mamluks when I attacked Russia. I think Ottomans' truce expires first, so if
But
Ottomans
Ottomans is going to be busy for a certain
Yeah.
amount of time against Russia. So
Yeah.
I'm
It-
not sure how
it's
quick that's going to be resolved.
yeah, it's definitely an option to consider for sure.
Ethiopia is also already at war with them. He might snake the good lands.
Yeah, I mean he might actually die to the Mamluks AI, honestly. I mean we've talked some about Andalusia, so let's go over here. Like
I mean,
Mamluks,
Mamluks can beat Ethiopia, I think.
yeah, they can. Question is like, will the AI bankrupt? Because it likes to bankrupt when you've taken all the loans, despite having cash left. But I don't think it would bankrupt here, and this is kind of awkward for Ethiopia. I think
The Mamluks player is not coming back then.
I think Octa is receding. Like I think we could take a quick look at Mamluks. I think the nation is. If you just look at the nation in itself, I think it's not dead. But in the position it is right now, isolated from like all of Europe, it's really hard for it to find any diplomatic possibilities or options to do anything. Like it's obviously allied to Russia right now, but that won't help it from just getting isolated and killed. And there are very few things that will. So I think it's kind of fair to consider this nation dead if the player desires to. But this is something we can discuss in staff, I guess. I don't think Octa wanted to keep playing it at least. But yeah, it could win this war against Ethiopia. But if it turns into AI, I don't think it will, and that gives Ethiopia so much needed room to grow. So yeah, looking at Ethiopia, we have some slight concerns with this nation, with no colonialism at 1541 and admin tech 8.
And a Kilva looking from the south. I mean, I don't know how strong Kilva is already. He's allied to.
Yeah, they are allied, and Kilva has gone for plutocratic as his only mill ID. So, like, Ethiopia is in immediate danger, but once it borders Ottomans, it's just about if Ottomans lets them live or not. Because right now they aren't looking that strong. I mean, they could put up a fight against some other nations. Like, it won't beat Timurids or QQ, but it's definitely relevant in a fight against those. But Ottomans are just a different beast. And same for Andalusia, really. If it ends up in conflict with either of these two, it's going to be really hard for them. So they need to play the diplomatic game, and hopefully, now that they finished economic, use that to dev up colonialism and then printing press, and then they are sort of okay.
I mean, he could even buy it from Timmy's or
Yeah,
anyone.
I'm not sure why he hasn't. I mean, I think peace was fairly new to multiplayer as well, so maybe that's why. But I don't know why he doesn't have the institution by now, really.
I'm surprised no one has offered it to him. Maybe they can't see his capital.
I mean, I don't think I just assumed that he had it because I got it kind of
Yeah,
late.
same.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a rough spot, but he does have
He might
1k dips stored.
Mamluks has it, so he can just take enough land to Mamluks and then embrace.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, actually, this is fair. It's unfairly big. Yeah, he's probably able to once he states it. He's kinda
Yeah.
small.
He just needs to take like 40-50 dev,
Yeah.
then he can embrace.
And like, he's actually fine on dip dev, mill dev, and he has a lot of dip stored. I think he can fix this, if put it that way. I don't think it's like a huge issue by any means, but it's a little bit annoying for him, for sure. He would also like this probably. Which one is that? Okay. So is this one he needs for the holy site?
Yes.
That's also a question if like Ottomans will permit him to take that. So yeah, it's interesting spot, but not the worst nation for sure. Has a lot of potential. I think it needs to use that dip to develop a gold mine as well. Where are the gold mines here? I've clicked on everything else than the gold lines right now. Yeah. I mean, this is where you dev, I guess, printing press once it arrives, I think.
Well, they haven't been
Yeah.
devved yet by
Yeah,
either of the players.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit awkward, especially when you have 1k dip mana. Maybe this is like someone who wasn't very used to... Like, deving became baseline in the game not that long ago. So maybe he's not really used to the mechanic. I don't know. Like, if he uses the... If he devs properly, I think Ethiopia can be a fairly strong nation, given, like, maybe 50 years. But... And right now it's still stronger than, like, Kilva, but it's going to suffer against most other neighbors. But yeah, looking at Kilva, which we mentioned talked some about. This is like the weirdest set of ideas I've ever seen, almost. Yeah. Let's see, Leonhard, what do you think about Kilva?
I mean, I played it once, and I think Kilba is actually not that bad of a nation.
Okay,
But I
what do you
would've
think about this Kilva?
Instead of exploration, I would have probably gone, how do you call it, expansion, and just connect to Africa, to Congo, and like colonize the south, the Cape Coast, and then eat into Congo.
Yeah, to be fair, like, this is kind of sexy, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's hard to defend, and you have a VJ player and you have Indian
Yeah,
player.
Also, he's not allowed to conquer a line over there.
You have
No.
Portugal, you have a Great Britain. Like, I mean, those colonies to defend is pretty hard, and I think it's smarter to first go for the 2 colonists and the power base in South Africa and like Congo and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is the least weird option, to be fair, though.
And I think religious ideas does make a certain amount of sense because,
No.
like all the fetishists, you can attack them you can eat them pretty quickly, especially with expansion ideas. You could basically have Congo land and South Africa, and once you have all of that, you can combine religious with quantity for the morale and stuff. So
Yeah, I guess, but you don't really
it's
need...
not horrible. I mean,
you
I
don't really
like-
need it to convert this, though. Fetishists are kind of easy to convert. It's not like Sunni or...
yeah, but you
Yeah.
get the CB that you don't have to pay dip for, so you
I
can
guess.
use it for developing lands and stuff. So
But is
Not-
that what the whole idea set?
yeah, the holy wars and like religious as 4th idea usually is an option if you go like quality and quantity, because you get 15% morale. So it's
Yeah.
not.
But this went for plutocratic.
Yeah, for the trade, which. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it's hard to know what idea set is best for Kilba, but I would have probably went different idea set than plutocratic.
I think it's safe
I'd
to
rather
say...
had, yeah, go quantity and then quality, and after that probably trade if you want to get the trade. Plutocratic, I think, is not as good as a military idea, and not as good as trade. So
Yeah, I think
kind
it's...
of compromise on both. I
I
think.
mean, you can't make a build that doesn't have economic, you can't make a build that doesn't
Yeah.
have any military quality. Actually, plutocratic is barely that. It's like a worse defensive. I think this
Yeah.
Kilva is going to struggle a lot if anyone comes knocking. Like Ethiopia, and we talked about Ethiopia, how it's not like that strong right now. It would
Yeah,
just
but he has quality economic.
yeah, it would just roll over Kilva right now. Like the only one who he can compete with military-wise is
Portugal.
Portugal, and Portugal doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean, that also makes sense though if he says the only enemy I have is Portugal, and Portugal can't defend against me anyways, so I just pick the first 2-3 idea groups as greedy as possible and try to expand as much as possible. But then I would have, instead of taking religious, probably, or even instead of plutocratic, you should have gone full greed and go expansion.
Yeah, I mean,
And then later on just get rid of and once you have everything explored, you go rid of exploration and change it for trade or for military stuff.
yeah, I mean, you can't skip economic if you're going greedy either. So it's like, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah,
It's pretty awkward.
maybe really drop religious for economic, and then.
I mean, at this point, I'm not sure what, like, if you drop something or if you keep going down this line. But yeah, I think it's been some, and he's also gone into presidential dictatorship because he has kept
Okay.
re-electing at low, which I don't think was the plan. So I don't know. At this point, you just hope to get it up with events, given that it's kind of young, or you can I guess
you can
just go.
strengthen government.
No, you can't. You can't during
Once-
dictatorship.
Yeah, you can't even do it once the event fires. Like even once it's triggered that it can that you get the event for it to turn into a dictatorship, you already can't strengthen government.
Yeah.
So
You do get a
Paradox
few.
actually stops you from abusing its mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow.
For once.
But yeah, like you can actually get this up to above 40, I think it is, with just events,
Yeah.
because you get a few at low and then you get a few extra ones to your dictatorship. But question is if that's worthwhile or if you just sit on this 366 guy, which is really nice, and then just accept your monarchy after that, which, given that we're approaching absolutism, isn't too bad at all.
Yeah, and you can always go Estates General, so it's... And Kilva should make decent trade money sooner. Can just hire advisors too, so...
Yeah. I think it's been a little bit weirdly managed for sure, but it's the first
No,
session.
I think it's not a bad nation. I just am curious why he's colonizing Indonesia instead of going for his African homeland.
I
think
mean,
that
I think it's the
more
worst
sense.
nation in the game, so...
Because
depends on how you define-
if Portugal gets all of the Cape Coast, he can get all of the trade from Zanzibar with ships anyways. And
Yeah.
if Portugal lands there, he already has more income. He could always probably just defeat Kilva. So
Yeah, but maybe he can let Portugal take land there, so he can attack Portugal then.
yeah, but would Kilva be able to beat Portugal? I mean,
Definitely.
I'm not so sure. Like once Portugal finishes one, I
The
really
issue
feel
is
like
that
quality.
Portugal is not fighting at home.
I mean, in all honesty, like Kilva and maybe Portugal, if they're fighting, is playing like their own little military war between the two players who can't fight anyone else in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like the only saving point for Kilva, I feel, is that he's so far away from other players. That he's also only like maybe two. If VJ wants to get over here, it's actually a third threat, which I mean, as VJ actually like to expand into Zanzibar. Because you can get trade companies and you hit the state cap fairly easily when you're in India.
Yeah,
So
India,
that's a potential threat. But yeah, depends on how things play out. As is, however, I would say that Kilva is at the mercy of his neighbors for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I would have. I think I played it different back in the day. I think I only want event expansion, not exploration, and then just use the two colonists to use have 4 or 5 colonies at the same time, and then drop expansion for I don't know what. But
Economic
I mean-
ideas.
like everybody plays it different, so
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean-
understand. Maybe he wants more of a fun-oriented game, not as try hard. So
Yeah, I guess. I mean, or he's just not very experienced. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out for Kilva for sure. Anything you guys want to say before we end?
Not entirely sure.
No. Ice, any
it's.
last statements?
no, not.
Leon?
I think it's actually a pretty fun game this time. We had a number of nations who should have been died but stayed and somehow made a comeback. Ruthenia, Poland. I also think that except for the France that runs away, it's in Europe there are a lot of interesting options still going on. And I mean, okay, we have kind of the German hackbox and the Ottoman Ruthenia Hungary hackbox, but all in, and we had some alliances stuck together, but we also had some shifts.
Yeah,
First
I mean-
Poland was attacked by everyone, then everybody had Poland, and everybody attacked Ruthenia and Hungary, and it shifts around a bit, I think, which is
It's also
I think they're pretty fun.
the size of these alliance blocks aren't I think unhealthy for the game. So I
Yeah.
think
They are all to the alliance rule set.
yeah, exactly, and they are quite logical when they stick together. I mean, I think I think maybe France is a slight issue game health wise, but apart from that, I think this has been a really fun and dynamic session for in most regions. Some people have just bowed down to France and don't have any options, but when I look at the game and the save and what's going on with the nations, it feels like a very even season with a lot of back and forth and options, and I think it's a really good game, and I appreciate to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's really much fun to play it. I
Yeah,
have to say,
definitely.
even though I'm unhappy that I'm made so many mistakes, but
I mean,
still
I can relate so much, so it's I am not very pleased with the internal management of Andalusia either. Oh well, but yeah, thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for coming on, and see you next week.